Hello everyone, this is Stan from Dirk Witte Music Store in Utrecht, the Netherlands. And today we are taking a look at a really fantastic Fender custom shop Telecaster, which has been quite a while now that I think about it. A custom shop Telecaster, and this one is also of really kind of like the top tier, because this is actually based on a personal Telecaster of a master builder, built by that master builder from the Fender custom shop. This is a 2006 Masterbuilt 1955 Telecaster, Masterbuilt by Fleming. And so this Fender Telecaster is then based on his personal Fender Telecaster, 1955 one. So really cool. Obviously also aged and relict, but really tastefully done, and just, yeah, really stunning stuff from the Fender custom shop. Really not just any Fender custom shop, like this is really something else. So also from 2006, so already 20 years old, if you can believe that. So it's not it is not by any means brand spanking new, but still in a really nice shape, even for a relic guitar. So yeah, really stoked to have it in the shop. So let's dive into the specs. So it is then obviously based on the 1955 Fender Telecaster. So this is kind of like what they would look like in 1955. So you then have a like a white blonde finish on the body, then a maple neck with the white pickguard, and yeah, this is then an ash body, obviously done in this really beautifully aged relict white blonde finish, with all of that beautiful finish checking, all of that beautiful, yeah, patina and just vintage mojo. And what's also really nice is the weight, because this is a really lightweight guitar. This is like around 3 kilos, which is yeah, just insanely easy and comfortable to like hold and to play, and also quite rare to see on a Fender Telecaster in my experience. My personal one is really kind of like on the opposite of the spectrum, because that is like well over 4 kilos. So this is really nice weight again. Moving on to then the electronics, or to the pickups. These are then obviously based on his own personal Telecaster with its pickups, which are like really high quality. These are actually also designed by Fleming himself, it says. So they are yeah, really up there when it comes to the quality and when it comes to the vintage accuracy to a 1955 Fender Telecaster. And they really sound fantastic, as you'll hear so in a little bit. You then got obviously also a very traditional bridge, so this casing around the bridge pickup with your steel saddles. So these are not brass, but these are steel saddles. And it also has like these impressions around the bridge of like an ashtray cover, which is like really cool. It really looks like just a real old 1950s Fender Telecaster. So yeah, again, really cool stuff. The controls, this is also very much vintage, because we have got the vintage Esquire style wiring, which is quite unique. You don't see that very often, like at all, apart from like Fender custom shop Telecasters, I think. But what that then means is that these controls do not work as your more typical modern Telecaster does. So what is going on is that in the bridge position you get indeed your bridge pickup, but it is just fully open. So the tone control doesn't do anything. You just have your volume control and that's it. Then in the middle position you then get your bridge pickup, but then you do get your tone control. So you then can manipulate the sound of it, and yeah. But you then do not get the two pickups together at the same time, so that is very different. And then in the neck position you get the neck pickup, but with a dark cap. So what that then means is that in the neck position it sounds especially dark. It like sounds like, even with the tone rolled all the way up, it sounds like that the tone has been rolled off quite a bit. Then the tone control does function as a tone control, but it like goes from dark to even darker. So yeah, that is how these came back in the day. I think that the reason that they did that with the Fender Telecaster was so that in the neck position you could like mimic a bass, I believe, or like get those really underlying dark low frequency type of rhythm things, stuff parts, whatever. So it is a little bit outdated for the modern player, but to have it on this guitar is especially cool because it is so hard to come by nowadays. So it really does make you play different on this guitar. So I think that you should also just leave it as is, because it is like just part of this very classic type of Telecaster vibe. So really cool. But I will show you obviously how it sounds. But then the output jack here on the side, so nothing too special there. Moving on to the neck. That is obviously a maple neck within a 1955 profile, which is actually pretty medium, like a little bit more chunky than medium, but really nothing crazy. It is, yeah, I would say like the subtlest V in there, like super subtle. Like it is not a perfectly round profile, so it has just a little bit of a point to it. And it also, yeah, again, it's just a little bit more beefy. But it is obviously then very vintage in like style, obviously maple fingerboard, and also with a vintage radius, so that being 7¼ inches, so quite round, as they would also come back in the day. Just got your plain black dot inlays and your skunk stripe then over there on the back as well. Obviously it is also beautifully aged, just as the rest of the body of the guitar, with all of those wear marks. And you've got what appears to be a bone nut and your just traditional Fender Telecaster decal with your single string tree, and then your vintage style tuners there on the back, as well as your Fender Custom Shop Chris Fleming decal there on the back. You also see that, by the way, here on the neck plate. It has this very cool Fender Custom Shop, like that V type of a logo. With an F in the center, like a Fender F, and then CW Fleming. So then Chris Fleming. Last thing to mention, also comes with a very sweet hardshell case, which I believe has also been aged to like his personal case. So that is, yeah, what more could you get like for replicating a personal guitar of a master builder? Obviously then also comes with all of the paperwork with an COA. With your spec sheet and stuff, and as well as a yeah, it is quite a unique COA with like also then a photo of the man himself. Even got some sort of a CD. I'm not too sure what is on there, but it is included. And you also then get a strap and a polishing cloth. So really kind of like get the premium treatment with this very fine Fender Custom Shop Masterbuilt Telecaster by Chris Fleming. So really cool guitar. Really stoked to have it in shop. The lightness of this body is really nice and it's really resonant. Really a yeah, just a really top tier Fender Telecaster or Fender Custom Shop guitar of really the highest grade. And yeah, again, really cool to have in the shop and to play and to show to you guys. Sounds and plays really fantastic, so let's move on to that part and let's hear what it sounds like. But first, if you're interested in this 2006 Fender Custom Shop Masterbuilt Chris Fleming Telecaster in a stunning relic white blonde finish, be sure to head over to the links in the description for further details. If you enjoyed this demo, be sure to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of very cool rare guitars like these, electric guitars, acoustic guitars, bass guitars, even of that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and to follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. With all that being said, let's see what this very fine Masterbuilt by Chris Fleming Fender Telecaster sounds like from the Fender Custom Shop. I'm going to be playing it through this late 1970s Fender Pro Reverb. So I will then show you what this tone circuit all has in store for us and just how it sounds in general and how great it is. So let's then move on to that part and let's then take this really fine Fender Custom Shop Masterbuilt Telecaster by Chris Fleming for a spin.